Alright, what's up YouTube? What's up Hammerheads? Vanhammer HP Craig coming at you. Alright, so spring review. We got these springs on. Y'all saw what a mess that was. But I will tell you, it's only tough the first time around. The second time around, it's a bunch easier. So if you've never done it before, it is a challenge. If you're good with tools, give it a shot. If you've done it before, then of course it's probably easier the second time around. But anyway, here we go. We spent about, we've probably put about 500 miles on these new springs. So I've already got a pretty good idea on, you know, how they handle, how they feel, how they make the car feel. And that's kind of what the video is about today. What are the differences in the way that the car feels and looks since the new springs have been put on. So we're just going to give you a little taste of that. We'll go on a little drive. I'll talk about it as we're driving there. One of the things we do want to take a look at is, of course, the appearance of it. And at the end of the last video, you kind of got a little bit of idea of that with the measurements and stuff, and it pretty much did what it was advertised to do. I got about an inch to the 1.2 inches in the front, which is a drastic drop in the front from factory, but not so low that you got to worry about scraping on anything. Or well, you have to worry about scraping on stuff, but it's not so bad like every little bump you got to worry about scraping. But you do have to be a little more cautious. In the back, it did drop at about a half of an inch, and it really didn't look like it at first, but taking the measurements, it did drop at about a half of an inch. And I can tell you what, I've already gotten so many compliments on how good the Mustang looks. Everybody loves the stance. They think it looks more, it gives it more of a mean look. And you know, when you talk springs, a lot of times you only really tend to pay attention from the side view. But I tell you what, this sucker from the front driving up really has this mean, aggressive Mustang look coming at you from the front, and hopefully maybe we can capture that today, and we'll turn the camera around and give you kind of a look and just overview of what we're looking at. I really wish I had another Mustang to park right beside it so we could get a side-by-side view of a stock height Mustang and what we're working with now, so you can see the differences. But let's turn the camera around. We'll take a look. Of course, we'll start off here with the front view, and like I said, without having a Mustang parked right beside it, you may not tell the difference from the front. But I tell you what, when it's driving and moving towards you from the front, it really does have an aggressive stance to it, and really looks mean. And of course, a lot of, you know, the stripe and the plate and the tinted lights all add to that effect as well. I think it's all come together real good. Now here's your big difference maker here, right here in the front. Of course, if you look at that stock, there is a huge gap in between there. Much lower now there in the front. Kind of look at it down the side here, so you can kind of get an idea of this stance that it's got going on now. She's beautiful. I really love this stance. The offset on these aftermarket wheels pushed out that rear wheel a little bit. Really gave it a good stance there from the back. And of course, lowering it just made it that much better. There's that wheel gap. Now I'll go ahead and talk about it now. I wish I would have taken a measurement down here for the height here and see how it dropped, because I tell you what, I noticed the difference getting out of the car. Getting out of the car and stepping out, your foot, like, it feels like it immediately hits the ground. And you also get that feel while you're driving, and we'll talk about that more once we get on the street, but it feels a lot lower getting in and out of the car. But there's kind of your overall stance and look at it. We'll try to get a shot of it moving and coming at you from the front, and maybe like a side to front view, so you can really get an idea of what that looks like coming at you. Like I said, I've gotten tons of compliments already just in the couple of weeks that we've had it, about its stance and the way it looks, and how much and how mean and muscly it looks. I guess even though it does have that sleek Euro, people are talking about how mean it looks. So that's good. That's kind of what we're going for. So let's get in the car and check her out. Alright guys, so here we go. We're on got a little open road, a little straightaway here. Talking about our BMR performance springs that we've got installed. Like I said earlier, we have probably about 500 miles on them. We took a little trip on them this past weekend. We've driven it through town, so kind of got a feel for what these springs are going to do for the car. And so while we're driving straight away here on the highway, we'll kind of just talk about the basics here and what you feel behind the driver's wheel with the springs. And one of the first things noticeable, I think, right off the bat is you feel like you sit lower. And you know, and it feels like a lowered centered. Your center point feels lower in the car, and that's what I'm talking about. When you get out, I feel like the ground is like right there. I feel like it's lower in the center. I think you feel it when you're driving, and then I also feel like you feel that when you're braking as well. When you brake, it's not so much maybe you feel it at the front of the car and the front of the brakes. When you brake, I feel like in the lower half of my body, I feel it as the car brakes, because it's maybe braking as a whole better. And so that's kind of the way I feel like that. I don't know if you can tell here, we're on a pretty quiet highway, so the road noise isn't bad. With the summer tires, the road noise can really depend on what type of surface you're on. The road noise, I would say, is slightly elevated a little bit, and I think really it's because you're lower to the ground, and so maybe you catch a little more of that with the tires. But it's nothing unbearable at all, nothing that your radio won't be able to handle or anything like that. Also, driving on the highway, if you're on a smooth highway, I kind of get like more of a floating feeling, and the way I kind of compare it, if I dare do, was driving the Z06 Vet. We drove an 08 Z06 Vet at one point, and in that car you felt very low to the ground, and you almost had that floating feeling, like you were just floating on the top of the road. I kind of get that feeling here in the Mustang driving it, with it being lowered. And then as you go over the small bumps in the road, you also kind of get that floaty feeling as you go over the bumps. I will say the springs are a little harsher. You kind of get the dense thud in the back if you go over like a good bump, but still nothing that you can't deal with. At all, and that's kind of what we were aiming for, was that midpoint between your stock comfortable ride and then being able to get some performance out of your springs without having to go all the way to a drag spring or something like that. So I'm pretty happy with that, and I feel like that performance is that good medium, even maybe just a tick on the side of performance without you really sacrificing anything. Driving in town, you will notice it being a little more bumpy, because usually your in-town roads have a few more bumps and are a little more bumpy. But like I said, it doesn't make the ride terrible at all. It still feels good, and honestly, it still feels way better than when I test drove that Camaro. If you remember back to all the bumps we hit in the road on that thing. Still feels way better than that. As we get up here, we're going to try to hit some curves in the road that we did a little map reconnaissance, and we're going to see if we can find some. But really, I would, just kind of hit the points on it. There's not a lot of curves here in Lubbock, so I haven't really tested it out. But on the things that I have, you do get that much more planted feeling that you may get in that Challenger or Camaro that you feel, or that I've felt when I've driven them going through curves. I feel like the car feels a little more planted. I think you get that with these springs and lowering it. Anyway, we're trying a new angle on the GoPro here, so hopefully it gives you an idea. It's kind of set down low on the front fender here. Kind of gives you an idea on how the car's riding, how much movement maybe we're getting with these springs and stuff. So I'm hoping it turns out pretty cool and then looks good on as we go through the curves and stuff as well. Good curved roads you're gonna get in West Texas. They say you just feel so planted in it. Like, I don't feel like there's any problem like with the car scooting out or anything. Feels good. Oh yeah, we're gonna even get a little canyon action here.
That felt good.
Oh,
gosh.
they need to close this off to me once. Oh, it's pretty snaky here. And we're going uphill, so we're not carrying a lot of speed. A lot of these corners are blind, so. Stuck to the road like glue there. I mean, it was nice. Here we go back down. This was closed off and you absolutely knew nobody was coming. Man, you could take these corners so much harder and it would be so fun. Here we go. It says 25 miles an hour around this corner. And it's going up the canyon. I don't see anybody coming down, so.
Oh, Jesus.
We're not going to do 25, but we're not going to do 70 either. A hairpin.
Oh my gosh. GoPro footage is going to be awesome. Sorry, I forgot this one was hairpin.
Alright, Hammerhead, so we took you for a little ride there. Took Mrs. Vanhammer for a little ride too. I hope all that video comes out pretty good from the GoPro and stuff like that. So, like I said, those BMR springs, I'm happy, man. I'm happy. It's fit all the needs so far yet. The car feels great. I love the lowered feeling of it. I love sitting in it and driving it and that lowered feeling while you're driving. The braking. Like I said, the braking, you feel it a lot more from the center of the car, and I guess that's from the reduced nosedive on it. So all in all, springs are great, okay? Now, to my next big thing, I wanted to say thank you to all the Hammerheads out there. We hit 100 subscribers the other day, so thank you so much for that. I'm going to continue to bring good quality videos, or what I think are good quality videos anyway, bring you informative videos with the occasional fun thrown in there. So keep subscribing, keep spreading the word, man. Vanhammer's dropping the hammer. We're bringing good videos, bringing good info. We still got lots to do to Racy Lacy, okay? So I believe at the time of this video, we're at 102. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for the support. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. If you're a newcomer and you're just catching this video, please like and subscribe, okay? We got a bunch more coming. Check out all the old stuff. You can get caught up, see what we've been doing. Like I said, still lots to come. So, like always, drop the hammer. Peace. And here's from my #1 subscribers right here, my #1 supporters for the YouTube channel. They got me a little something here.
Can you see? Oh, there we go.
Check it out. I got a little. I can't do this without changing the camera around. Hold on. Alright, there we go. They got me a little something here to celebrate my 100. So, thanks again for all the subscribers. Thanks for this family support and everything. Ready?
Do it.